Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Grace, and this is going to be a wrap-up of all the books I've read recently. Here's the deal, is like, I know at BookTube we like to do like monthly wrap-ups and stuff, but I've missed the past couple wrap-ups because I was out of town and I was sick and stuff like that. Like, I was looking back at videos last night to try and figure out what books I've already talked about, what books I haven't talked about yet. I have no idea. I really don't. I couldn't figure it out. So I think these are the four that I haven't talked about yet. I think. Oh, and I do want to point out, I am more fall decorated than I was in my last video. I found a way to make it flow over here, and then I added this little pumpkin down here. The pumpkin is just sitting on the stack of my Expanse series because the Expanse series won't fit on the rest of my shelf. And I kind of moved this pumpkin down here, and I moved like the little like scarecrow dude. He's up here. I don't know if you guys can actually see him or not though. Alright, so the very first book is Enchantment of Ravens. Okay, this book was good. I loved that I read it at the beginning of the fall because the Fae Prince in this world is the Prince of Autumn. And so there were so many fall feels, and the leaves were always like these autumny colors, and it was honestly the perfect fall autumn read. So I loved that about the book. The main character was somewhat interesting. The plot line was pretty shallow. The plot line was pretty shallow, and it didn't really wow me. And I was really bored. So the main character lives in a town that borders very close to the Fae world and the Fae realms, okay? And she's an artist, and she has the ability to just like paint and to like paint clear emotions on people's faces. So in the Fae world, making craft or any sort of crafting or cooking or making like clothes or anything is actually illegal, and it apparently affects the Fae magic, and it affects like, hi baby, because like it damages their psyche in some way. So the Fae go across to this human world, and they get her to paint all of their paintings and all their portraits and everything. They get this town and all the like people, like the dressmakers and people of this town, to like make them things because they can't make things on their own. So the Fae Prince of Autumn comes to this town and commissions our main character to paint him a portrait of himself. So this portrait, it lasts through a good first chunk of the book, this whole painting scenario, and he comes back every day and she paints for him. But then also in the Fae world, the Fae aren't allowed to show emotion. Like, they don't really have any like sort of human emotions. The main character Isabel paints human emotions onto the Autumn Prince's face, and it creates like this crazy blow up in the Fae world because like the Fae aren't supposed to have emotions. So then the Prince of Autumn goes and kidnaps Isabel and takes her back to the Fae world to try and like fix this whole situation that she created, and then it just kind of goes with Fae politics from there. So anyway, the whole first part was really good, but like then after like the kidnapping of Isabel part, I don't know, I was pretty bored through the whole second half, and through the whole like how they try and figure out how to fix the situation, and you know, because it totally messes with the whole politics of the Fae realm, the fact that like there's this painting with a human emotion on the Autumn Prince's face. It sounds really interesting, but I was pretty bored through the whole second half of it, honestly. Anyway, I've been wanting to pick up Sorcery of Thorns by this Sorcery of Thorns, whichever side it ends up on, by the same author, Margaret Rogerson. But after this one, I'm actually kind of hesitating on Sorcery of Thorns. Sorcery of Thorns is about like this girl who's a warden of this magical library, and all these books in this magical library are like sentient and kooky, and they can talk to you, and they can turn into monsters and all kinds of stuff. And the premise sounds awesome, but I don't know if I'm actually gonna like it, since I read this one and I'm like, oh, I don't know, it sounds like it's very similar. Like, there's this crazy situation at this library, and then this girl gets taken into the Feywild. Like, is what happened in Sorcery of Thorns, and I'm like, wow, that's exactly what happened in Enchantment of Ravens. Same author, same plot line. I didn't like the plot line of this one, so I don't actually know if I'm gonna like Sorcery of Thorns anymore, which is kind of sad. But I don't know, we'll see. I might still give it a shot because I love magic libraries, and I might give it a shot, and if I like the first half of it, maybe it'll be worth it. The jury in my brain is still deliberating whether we're gonna pick up Sorcery of Thorns or not. Another book I recently finished was Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. It is Viking inspired. The main character's name is Elin, and the opening scene, okay, well, when Elin was a kid, her brother died, was murdered in this big giant Viking battle. He was killed on the battlefield, and she knows that he's dead, okay? But in like in the opening scene of this book, she's on the battlefield, she's fighting, she's doing her Viking warrior thing, and then she sees this warrior that she recognizes. And it turns out her brother, but it's her brother from like the enemy Viking side. And they just have this moment where it's like, it's you, and then they like disappear in the smoke, okay? And so this whole book is like her trying to figure out, oh my god, I just saw my brother, was it a phantom, was it real? What's going on with my brother? Why was he fighting for the enemy if it was real? And so this whole book is just her journey to try and figure out what's going on. I thought the premise of this book was really cool. The execution, I was a little bit bored. I was pretty bored with this book throughout the entire time I was reading it, honestly. It's just like a lot of Viking family drama is kind of what I felt like I was reading. It turns out like her brother is real. Her brother did actually join an enemy clan, now has like a love interest in the enemy clan, and it just turned into like a Viking rom-com kind of thing. I don't know, it didn't wow me. It didn't hit my heart in a special way. I was just like, I'm reading a Viking rom-com now. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, you know, and it didn't even feel Viking at a point. It just felt like I'm reading a rom-com that is taking place in a Viking world at some point. And just a lot of family drama, and then she falls in love and with somebody else and that she's not supposed to fall in love with, and then I don't know. I mean, it was a great concept. I thought it was a really interesting concept, but like near the end, I kind of just wanted it to be over, and I didn't really care how it ended because I was like, I can guess how this is gonna end, like by the halfway point. I don't know. It just wasn't my thing. I didn't really like it. Okay, the next book though I picked up, I absolutely loved. I really did, I promise. I have read a book that I've loved recently, and that is American Panda by Gloria Chow. This book is about a Chinese girl raised in America, and her parents are Chinese, and she's trying to like live kind of more of like an American kind of lifestyle, but her parents are very like traditional Chinese, like, you know, like you must marry, you must, you know, like follow all these rules. She goes off to MIT, and this is like this book kind of follows her first year in college as she's kind of figuring out who she is, and she's kind of, you know, almost for the first time, because her parents were so controlling and very much like, you have to be a doctor, like that's what you have to do. And so she's like getting into school and like, and she's thinking like, I don't want to be a doctor, I want to be a dancer. And it's just kind of her struggling with her parents and struggling with her culture. And she even wants to like dance like hip hop and not like traditional Chinese dance. And so there's just like a lot of inner struggles going on, and it was a great book, and also like a lot of just like fall stuff. It was like a perfect like back to school kind of fall book. All the things that like you deal with typically on your first year of college, like new roommates, and even her coming from an extremely controlling parental background. Her parents totally control her life, but by the end of the book she's able to like figure out how to get free from all that and how to think for herself and live her own life and go after her own dreams. And it causes so much family drama, but I absolutely loved this book. I thought it was really, really, really well written. The main character's character arc is like so legit to like what I feel like it would actually be like in real life. Like, it's so legit. Like, nothing happened too quickly, nothing happened too slowly. She didn't seem stupid. She seemed really smart. She actually like the character came across as super smart. and just super confused. And even though like she is being really controlled by her parents, like she didn't come across as like a wuss or a pushover. She came across as like just not knowing what to do and trying to figure it out. So anyway, I was super proud of this main character all throughout the book, and I was right there with her, and I related to her on so many different points. So anyway, awesome book. 5 out of 5 stars for this one. Yeah. Okay, so this next book, I have no idea if I've talked about this one with you guys or not, but it's Wolf by Ryan Growden. If I have talked about this book before, I'm sorry. Maybe I'll say something different. But Wolf by Wolf is the main character is a shapeshifter, and she's a motorcycle racer, and her mission in life is to kill Hitler. This takes place this takes place in a World War II kind of world, but World War II in the future, if it had like kept going on and if the Nazis had like won, okay? So this is like a futuristic World War II different ending kind of book. Does that make sense? Anyway, so the main character was Jewish when she was a kid. Well, I guess she is still Jewish, but she was Jewish and she was experimented on by the Nazis and turned into a shapeshifter so that they could use her as a weapon. However, she used her shapeshifting abilities to escape from the Nazis and become an assassin. So she joins the resistance as an assassin and gets tasked to murder Hitler. Now, Hitler always comes out in person and congratulates the winners of this grand motorcycle race across the country. Our main character trains for this motorcycle race, enters this motorcycle race in order to get close enough to assassinate Hitler, which is her plan. So this book mainly circles around this motorcycle race that she has to win in order to pull off her mission of killing Hitler. And it like even like does flashbacks to like her as a kid being experimented on, and then it does flashbacks to like her in assassin training, and so those are all pretty cool. And you can kind of like watch her being trained for like this murder Hitler mission, and I mean it was cool. Like it was a cool book. It was well put together, well written. The character was super believable, like the main character and just everything in her past and just the way she related to the world and all that was super, super believable. My only issue with this was the ending. The ending was super unsatisfying and super just flat, honestly. But there's a sequel. There is a sequel, so I'm thinking that it'll probably pick up again in the sequel, but I don't know. It was such a flat ending that I don't even want to pick up the sequel. So there you go. Wolf by Ryan Growden. So these are all the books that I've read recently that I can remember that I haven't talked about yet. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this wrap-up video. I love you guys so much. You guys are so flippin' beautiful. And I'll totally see you in the next video. Also, hit that like button so I feel the love. I know you love me, I know you like me, and I know you're watching this video. Also, if you have not hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, because I want to know who you are. I want to know that you're watching my channel. Also, if you want to talk with me, leave me a comment down below. I will respond to you, and if you have all your links set up, I'll go find you on Twitter, and we could be friends, and I would absolutely love that. So, anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye!